Bro, the problem with me is just like when I have that like one brownie, it's over for me. I'm not eating anything else for the rest of the night except for the rest of the brownies.
Say we have 21 meals a week. If you can eat 18 or 19 of them healthy, the other two literally don't matter.
I wanted to ask you guys about tracking.
Burn more calories than you're taking in. That's losing weight.
I always tell people to try to do more red meat. But at a certain point, it's too much. The calories are too much.
You're in the middle of camp and you're like tired and you feel weak at training. Go eat a steak with some avocado and some rice. And I swear the next training session, you'll feel like a monster, bro.
Everything we're talking about is literally coming back to food choices. Even though, we talked about like tracking and stuff, none of them are saying like, hey, go have a little bit of cereal because you can fit it in your macros. You just make the better food choice.
We're back with another episode of The DMs. Oh, there's Mason. That was Mason sliding into the DMs. We're gonna talk about it's Christmas Eve.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Merry Christmas Eve, boys.
We ain't got time for the holidays. We gotta work, bro. Which is gonna bring us into what we're gonna talk about today. Let's talk about some of you athletes, jiu-jitsu guys, wrestlers, even fighters, what you should be doing on the holidays to maintain your health, your shape, your weight. I know
basically we're staying locked in.
We're
trying to stay locked in.
We have to as a professional. I know it's easy to. It's really like it's easy to fall into, what the rest of your family's doing. Not that we're calling your family lazy or anything like that. They just
I'm calling them lazy.
All right, Mason. I'm not lazy. Deron Winn, I'm not calling your family lazy. I'm just saying that not everybody is on the same path.
Yeah, it's more common to like start indulging in during these holiday season. Like you're weird if you're not taking part in all the extra desserts and stuff. So that's, I think, more what we're saying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you might even get judged more. Like, imagine going to your Christmas Eve or Christmas and there's a bunch of pie and, cookies and whatever out. And you're like, oh, I can't, I'm training. And people are like, actually, you're probably going to be in a room where there's more people that are going to make fun of you for doing that than supporting you for doing that. And I swear when I say this that I'm not like judging or anything like that. It's just what life is. Like people are on different paths and majority of people are normal. And if you want to be normal, you do normal shit. And normal shit is easy.
And that's normal in this country is usually very unhealthy.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Yes. And dude, and I'm not saying I'm the healthiest guy. Obviously I'm not. My family
definitely not.
I grew from Mason. Shut up, bro. I grew up in a family where my grandparents so like the core of my family is from Arkansas. They're Southern people. My grandma was a Southern woman who made fried stuff and she baked cookies and I grew up I grew up drinking Kool-Aid and shit like that. Stop, Mason.
I'm not gonna say anything.
But my grandma was white, so I still grew up drinking Kool-Aid, and my grandma was white.
You had to put a little extra sugar in it, right?
Oh, it was so much sugar, boy. And it tasted so good when you went outside and played on a hot sunny day, and then you came back inside with some tropical punch Kool-Aid and some ice in there, bro. Man, that shit tastes good. But anyways, back to what we're saying is I know that a lot of people, there's generally only one person in the family. It's actually less common for the family to be healthy all around. So there's generally only one, maybe two people who support that kind of endeavor. And really, we're saying like be locked in, but you don't have to be like David Goggins about it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, depending on where we're at.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's, hey, how amazing is it to compete on like a December 14th?
Oh yeah, It's the best.
That would be the best
for sure. And
because then you don't have to be so anal about it.
Absolutely. And it's just like, dude, even like me right now, me and Mallory, like we had, what did we have for dinner? I made something. Oh, I made pasta. But then after, when I was at the grocery store, I got some cinnamon rolls, you know? But it's because that neither one of us are in camp. Neither one of us are have to make weight soon. It's okay for us to indulge now, but there's been times on my birthday or Christmas or whatever where I've had to stay locked in, and it almost makes it more enjoyable now that I don't have to, and then I know that I've sacrificed in the past, you know?
Yeah, so it all comes down to where you are in your preparation, and if you have a competition coming up. Hey, if you don't have a competition coming up, you don't have to eat chicken and broccoli. Go and eat. You also don't have to go crazy and put on 10 pounds, which we've all done before, right? Mm-hmm. But you don't have to be super disciplined and locked in 24/7, especially if you just competed, or like in my case, I'm still partially injured, so I'm in one of those areas where I'm not like fully locked into the diet.
But sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I know I'm semi-retired at this point, but
go ahead.
You don't have to be fully locked in, but you also don't have to like go crazy and get super out of shape either. So there's a fine line.
Yeah, and you can just lean in on the principles that you should be living pretty much every day anyways. But like if you don't have anything coming up, well shit, dude, double down on all the protein, right? Like whatever that protein is, just fucking go crazy on that. Get yourself full, because then after you're not going to really be able to cause too much damage with the stuff that's quote unquote off plan. But the question I have for you guys is, do you guys think it's better to go super strict a couple weeks before, let's say Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, where you're going to have, some off plan stuff? Or do you think it's good to just kind of have like a good variety of everything? So that way, the day of, you don't feel like, oh, today's the day, like today's the cheat day. Do you think it's okay to kind of mix things in as you progress?
I think it's to each his own. But I've always kind of understood it this way. It's like, if you can stay, I'm pretty sure I've said this on the podcast before, but it's like, say we have 21 meals a week, right? If you can eat 18 or 19 of them, like healthy, the other 2 literally don't matter. And only anybody who's ever really like cut weight or watched their weight or been on a diet understand that. And you understand if you're really strict and you've really been on a diet and you've really been cutting weight, you'll understand how much that extra protein, how much that'll feel like a cheat too. Like you were saying, like you don't have to have a bunch of brownies and a bunch of carbs and stuff like that. Like you getting extra steak or you getting extra chicken or whatever, you'll understand how that will almost satisfy your craving. Obviously, it'll never satisfy your craving like a freaking brownie or some ice cream will, but protein, double
the problem
protein.
With me,
yeah, go ahead.
Bro, the problem with me is just like when I have that like one brownie, it's over for me.
Yeah.
It's over. I'm not eating anything else for the rest of the night except for the rest of the brownies.
Oh, I know, bro. Oh, it's so bad.
So I would almost rather not touch anything, because if I do, it's just, it's like an alcoholic. Like you can't have one drink. Yeah. That's how I am, at least. Well, that's not everyone's like that, but
and that's
well, I think that's why anybody who's ever been healthy is like that. It's like you don't go to the grocery store and buy cookies. You don't go to the grocery store and buy donuts. You don't go to the grocery store and buy cereal and shit like that. Like that's for me. And you can say whatever you want about me, but I've cut more weight than 99.9% of people that are listening to this. So I don't want to hear it. I don't buy these things because if I take them home and I put them in the pantry, they're gone. Like it's like getting a 12-pack of Mountain Dew or something. I was talking to this about this dude that used to wrestle, one of our old coaches, Cole, about this, and we had this little like get together for one of the fights, and somebody brought like a 24 case of like Baja Blast. Damn. And he's like, I've had 3 tonight.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't bring those things into the house because you know that as discipline, that's your discipline. Right? Just not even getting it. Because you're not saying you're David Goggins. You're not saying I'm going to have a fucking 12-pack of Baja Blast Mountain Dews, which taste fantastic.
Fantastic.
in the fridge. I'm going to not even bring them hoes in here because if I do, I'm not David Goggins. I will drink them hoes.
One of the rules that's like worked really well for me too is almost like same thing, not really having anything in the house. Never ever having anything in the house. Like never cheating in the house, but it's like, all right, I don't have to make weight anytime soon. Let's like go out to a nice dinner and then let's get like dessert at the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's over because once you go home, it's over. When you have something at the house, when you have a cake at the house and you're like, I'm just going to have one piece of cake, 2 hours later, when your blood sugar crashes, you're going to go get another piece of cake. And then 2 hours later, you're going to eat another one. And then
bro. Sugar's a
next thing you know, oh man, a little cake for breakfast won't hurt.
I'll never admit that.
Little cake for breakfast won't hurt. It's just like a pancake, right?
Same thing. Yeah. You're absolutely right. You make it in like eventful, right? Like you go out to the thing, and then once you're done, like you're done. It's over.
Over.
Yeah. For you guys though, and so real quick, something, Mason, you said like, oh, you don't have to eat chicken, broccoli, and rice. Like you shouldn't be eating that anyways, right? Like I think we all agree, like red meat, rice, like eat stuff that you actually enjoy. I'm my diet's kind of the only thing that's like saving me right now because like my training's gone down quite a bit, but my diet's always on point. But I eat everything I eat, I really enjoy. There's nothing that I eat that's like, fuck, like I gotta eat some boiled chicken or something lame like that. So definitely always be eating something that you enjoy. I wanted to ask you guys about tracking. A lot of people in the fitness world will argue till the death that, it's all about calories in, calories out. Have you guys ever had to manage with or ever have to deal with like tracking your macros and making sure you're eating at a certain like caloric deficit and that sort of thing?
Yeah, that's funny. I was I was actually gonna kind of go off something just like that, Andrew, before you said that. But okay, I will say this. If I don't have the time to explain somebody about what it is, I'll literally just say, it is this easy. Burn more calories than you're taking in. That's losing weight. That's how you can lose weight. If I didn't have any time, but if I did have time, and it'll go off of what you talk about, enjoying what you, enjoying eating what you or enjoying what you eat, right? Sorry for the stutter there.
It's all right.
Macros will do you a lot more justice. Because if you do get a graph, like my old nutritionists send me for camp, they will send you ideas of food. I think that's one of the biggest things that we lack as if we're getting into a diet or nutrition is we lack the ideas of food. That's why people just resort to chicken and broccoli, like you say. But in reality, you'll see that, like, for me, a good like substitute option that I used to always really like that I tasted good was ground turkey. And it was low on macros. I used to like to put that in as protein, so I didn't always have to eat chicken. And I tried to stay away from like red meat when I was losing weight, or a lot of it, and not to go against what you're saying, Andrew. It's harder for your body to process, and
it's higher in calories.
It's higher in calories. Yeah, you really do. If you're cutting weight, like if you have to make weight for something, you should stay away from red meat. But if you need it for fuel and to work out or whatever, 100%, nothing will make you feel better. It's like you're in the middle of camp and you're like tired and you're weak and you feel weak at training. Go eat a steak with some avocado and some rice, and I swear the next training session you'll feel like a monster, bro. But yeah, I really like the macros because, like you said, it allows more options in our diet. But I do believe that at the end of the day, it really is burn more calories than you put in. And people don't understand you're burning calories. We're burning calories right now. Like, it sounds stupid, but us talking and using energy, that's burning calories, just not as much calories. Did you have something?
Yeah, and since I did start, like a few years ago, eating like primarily red meat, I dieted down using mostly red meat, but then it got to a certain point where I had to start doing a lot more like lean meats, just because like once you start getting really, really lean, like those extra calories are just awful. So I did have to also switch to like chicken and turkey the last few weeks, I remember, of my ADCC prep. But I was cutting a lot of weight and I had to get like super, super lean. So if that's not the case, if you're not trying to get like super lean, I always tell people to try to do more red meat. But at a certain point, it's too much. The calories are too much.
Yeah, I always like just again, so like everything we're talking about, it's literally coming back to food choices. So although like it's maybe a little bit more drastic to say like I'm not even going to bring those types of foods into my house, that you're still making a choice. And then when it comes to like eating for performance or eating for a cut, it's all about the food choices. And if you notice, none of these food choices are like, even though we talked about like tracking and stuff, none of them are saying like, hey, go have a little bit of cereal because you can fit it in your macros. You just make the better food choice, right? Have you guys ever had to deal with like meal timing? Because I was going to ask about fasting, but honestly, like I think with fasting is more about just like meal timing anyways. But how do you guys factor that in when the calories are starting to come down, for a like for prep and then that sort of thing?
If you're meal timing, if you're worried about like having to eat every 3 hours or whatever, if you're really, really dedicated, the only way to do it is to bring food with you. And a lot of people, you get a container, you get Ziplocs and containers and you bring food with you, you bring some fruit, some snacks, whatever with you. If you're really dedicated, that's the only way. I don't think there's any other way to do it. People are too busy, especially if you're an adult with a job and you have to be places or you got kids or whatever. Nobody has time, bro. Nobody has time to be like, okay, I got to go home real quick. I got to eat. It's the third hour,
Mm-hmm.
But nobody's perfect. No matter even if anybody says they are, nobody's perfect. Nobody eats every 3 hours. Nobody eats, a snack every 3 hours or whatever, nobody is. But, yeah, I would say if you're really dedicated, you have to bring your food with you. If not, you just got to try to make it work.
Yeah, and sometimes too, like, I mean, it depends. Every situation is going to be different, but I mean, my parents know usually like when I come here, there's all kinds of red meat here. My stepdad just barbecued up like 8 steaks and like a couple like hamburger patties
Barbecued up.
last night.
Did you guys use A1?
No. No, he barbecued up a bunch of red meat, and then now there's like steak here.
Because I saw your cousin last night when you
buns.
FaceTime me, and it looked like y'all be using A1 on your steaks, bro.
No, it was on the other. That was my cousin on the other side.
Worcestershire sauce.
That word's
Worcestershire.
Yeah, that word's impossible to say, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Mason,
what I was going to say.
Mason knows how to use it. Mason knows how to say it.
Worcester.
It rolls right off the tongue for him.
Worcestershire.
He still got a little bit in his tongue his tongue right now from last night.
My brother lives in a city called Worcester.
Yeah, that's how you say it?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
No,
Worcester.
It's Worcestershire.
Yeah.
No, there's a city.
Worcestershire.
There's a city called Worcester.
Worcestershire.
It's in Boston.
That's what it is. Worcestershire.
That's the name of the sauce.
And you have to have a little twang with it. Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire sauce. All right, that's it. Go ahead, Mason. Sorry, you had something to say. Sorry, my bad, bro.
No, I was just gonna say you can, talk to your family depending on how much they actually like you, and just let them know like, hey, I'm cutting weight. Like, is there any way you guys could like maybe throw a steak on the grill for me or something? I mean, that might be too much to ask, but depending on how much your family really cares about your training and stuff like that, might not be too unreasonable for them.
Bro, in high school and college, I used to have to go. So that's one thing we talk about is diets during the season, during the holiday season. But wrestling is during the holiday seasons, and sorry, and you don't always have time to have a couple cheat days. Like sometimes there's tournaments like this weekend. So what it's Monday, no, it's Tuesday, Christmas Eve, then Christmas is Wednesday. Sometimes you have a tournament on Friday night.
Damn.
Or Saturday. You have to make weight in 2 days. So you don't have the time. I mean, dude, I promise you there was at least 5 Christmases in the span of when I was in high school and college that I had to come home and go to my grandma's for Christmas and eat like a slice of turkey with some potatoes or something like that. Like, there wasn't any stuffing, there wasn't any gravy, there wasn't macaroni and cheese, which I love. There wasn't any of that. No dessert, nothing. No pumpkin pie, nothing. I had to eat that. So it is sacrifice, bro. I mean, sometimes it's just it is what it is. If you can accept that, then you'll be okay. But one thing you can't do when you're trying to accomplish something different than everybody else is feel sorry for yourself. And it's easy to. It's easy to, like, so many times that I've been cutting weight, I've been driving somewhere, or I've been in the car somewhere, or I've been a bus ride somewhere, that I look and I literally will, like, you've never been through it until you've been driving somewhere and you stop at a stoplight, and at the corner is either like somebody standing there with something, or you look over to your right and people are like on a patio at a lunch, enjoying themselves, drinking some water and eating a sandwich or something. And you look over them, you're like, oh my God, bro, what I would do to just be normal right now, to just be chilling on the patio, eating a sandwich and drinking water. You've never been through it unless you've ever done some shit like that.
I know, but having that one like bad meal could literally be the difference between you like winning and losing.
Yeah, seriously.
Because if you're the one kid or adult that was locked in during this time period, that could be all like the small little advantage that you needed to actually win.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah, that's dope.
Unfortunately.
So
at least that's how my mind works. I'm sure that's how your mind works too, Deron.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, you're always trying to get that just slight edge over your competition. The one thing that I noticed, because again, like I started jiu-jitsu late, but even before that, I was, I'll say I got into fitness a little bit later too. But with like dealing with the family, first you get like all the questions, like, oh, like, one piece of cake's not going to kill you, or you can take a break today, it's not going to kill you. But when you're locked in, you're locked in. And then what ends up happening is there's like this progression, right? First you get like, you get some adversity and you get people questioning you, and then it starts to become accepted, and then people stop bugging you. But then again, because like we're, in the United States, we're pretty close to having 50% of the entire population being overweight. So what ends up happening is people start asking you what you're doing, and then they start coming to you for advice. And unfortunately, not everybody takes it. Some do, some don't. But like, if it feels uncomfortable right now, if you're the one guy at your Christmas party, your family Christmas party, and you're the one that's not drinking, you're the one that's not, pounding all the cakes and all the desserts and stuff, like, it's only awkward for a tiny bit. And I promise you feel significantly better after than if you were to indulge in everything. And then by this time next year, or maybe, even sooner, that's when you're going to start getting accepted, and not accepted, but like, it's just known that, okay, you're not going to be the guy that's going to ask for extra cake or whatever, right? But then you start getting asked, hey, how is it that you're still in shape after all these years? And then you can just be like, oh, well, you used to make fun of me for it, but here's actually what I'm doing. And it's a really cool, empowering position to be in, where you might be the one that like changes the trajectory of your family, right? Like, your bloodline could be saved because of the practices that you have right now and the habits that you can teach your family. And I know we're talking just about like in regards to like grappling and that sort of thing, but like, that's why fitness and all this stuff is so great, because you can literally change like your bloodline's trajectory by just getting healthy, because then you can educate your, everybody else, and make sure nobody keeps falling down the same path of, oh shit, everybody's just fat and unhealthy and unhappy. That's just the way it is. But wait, how come that family over there, they figured it out? What are they doing differently? And it could start with you. And I think that's very powerful. And that's why I love these conversations. And I especially love picking your guys' brains, because it's on like a whole different level at this point. Like, I've never competed on a big stage like you guys have. So it's really cool to get that insider information from you guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And that's,
hey, you know what used to bother me the most? This, when I was cutting weight or whatever,
no,
and I was at like some type of family gathering, and then someone would ask me like, oh, can't you just have a little small piece of cake? Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, I cannot. Yeah. No, and I fucking hate you.
Hey,
so shut
you
the
know
fuck,
what's
like,
even
shut
worse?
up.
When people are like, I mean, I know you're cutting weight, but can't you have like just some water? Like, oh, bro, you have no idea how bad I want water right now, bro.
I know. Or oh yeah, well, water doesn't have any calories. You can have some water.
You don't get it. Just shut up, bro.
People tell you the craziest things.
Stop talking to me, bro.
And it drives you. There's nothing worse. And you're so irritable.
What's your weight?
Dehydrated.
How much do you weigh?
Starving.
What's your weight?
Oh, you're cutting 8 pounds in 2 days. You got to teach me how to do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, Can we talk about anything else?
Literally anything else. Hey, but you know what's fucked up is like, I've come to realize as an adult, like, it's like you only get annoyed when people ask you your weight if you're heavier than you really want to be.
It's a little reality check.
Because when somebody asks you your weight and your weight's good, you're like, oh, I'm 3 over. I'm just 3.
No, this is the funniest thing. This is the funniest thing. Deron telling me like, yeah, bro, woke up under 200 today. It's gonna be an easy cut. And then we go and train. And then after training, he's like, I'm like, hey, let's go and check your weight. And he'd be like, nah, I'm good. I'm under 200. And then DC comes in. Deron, get on the fucking scale. He gets on the scale. And it's like 209.
Stop. No, it wasn't.
He's like looking at it. He's looking at it all confused. He's like, bro, I was 199 this morning.
Stop.
I think the scale's broken. The scale's broken. I'm
no,
like,
it was not that bad. I was maybe like 204. I've never lied about 10 pounds.
He told me.
Hey, but I swear to God,
Deron, when he's cutting weight, he turns into a liar. He turns into a liar. Real quick.
Hey, I swear to God, though. Listen.
I've never been gaslit so much as when I was with Deron during his weight
cut. A new scale.
He is a certified gaslighter. He's, my shorts weigh 8 pounds. No, these shorts are 8 pounds, bro.
Stop, he's like, no, this scale's not calibrated. The one at home's way better, I promise.
Stop, bro. The one I bought from Target back at home is better. It's giving better reads. You're lying, bro. Listen, I will say this. I have lied about my weight before. But I will say this. God. Anybody who has wrestled for a long time or done anything for a long time, you have to make weight, has lied about their weight before. Multiple times. But
I would lie to myself.
I'll lie to myself. I'll defend myself on this one. Mason's lying. It's a partially true story, but it was not 209. I was 204. How about that? After a work,out. And I had breakfast and some water.
That's a heavy breakfast. Yeah.
So, who knows? I always drink a lot of water. Who knows? Maybe I was. And I just drink a lot of water. But then I got Mason in DC, like, whatever, bro.
Good cop, bad cop.
DC almost drowned me one time during wake up in the bath. I was like, I want to get out. And he like did this to me and like, shut me down.
He's like, get in the tub, Deron.
Back in the tub. I was like, I can't breathe. I will say this funny. One time, this is the same cut. We were at 24-Hour Fitness. I don't think Mason was there. Mason, were you there?
I was there,
when
bro.
We 24-Hour Fitness?
Yeah.
Bro, I did this miserable ass weight cut, bro. DC came and like took over because I was fucking up. And Mason was there. And we were at 24-Hour Fitness,
and
bro.
DC was acting like it was my fault because I was responsible for you.
I love that.
He's like, Mason, what? He's like, why ain't he in the sauna? I'm like, he's not listening to me.
I love that.
He kept blaming me for everything. I was like, you do it.
I love that. I love when Mason gets blamed for things. So I remember one time, bro. I remember that time I was on the 24-Hour Fitness floor, bro. We had just got done with the cut. Like I was done. Like we did what we were going to do for the night. We were going to wake up and do some more. I was still a few pounds over. I'm laying on the 24-Hour Fitness floor. I wasn't naked, I don't think, kind of like that one time I was talking about. But I had just my drawers on. I'm laying on the floor of the locker room, like no towel or anything. Like don't, because you don't care. And I swear to God, some like Indian guy came up to me and was like, "I am a doctor. Are you okay?" And I swear to God, I looked at him and I was like, no. But then DC walked in and was like, "Hey, man, he's all right."
Yeah.
I was like, call the police. Call 911, bro. I swear, those are times that you're like, I don't care. Call 911. Like, they could take me. I don't care. Call it.
Like, you don't care about the consequences.
No.
You don't care about anything.
No. Don't care about anything, bro.
Hey, so there was one time that
hey, let's just stop talking about me. Let's talk about Mason.
I know there's one more. Hold on. There's one more. There was I'm not going to name any names. But there was someone that was going through a similar situation, but he was just being kind of soft. He wasn't really cutting like not like that much weight. Like it's weight that we've both cut before, right? But he was panicking from the weight cut. He was dehydrated, and we were like not letting him get out of the bath.
Mm-hmm.
And then he shit in the bathtub
in order
to get out.
Oh, hell yeah.
He's like,
I like that.
I have to get out. He's like, I have to get out. I shit in the tub.
Oh my God. No way, bro.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
You go through drastic measures, bro.
You'll do anything to get out of there.
Anything.
Well, it's like your body's telling you that your life is in danger and you have to do anything to get out of the situation because you're so dehydrated. So your mind starts playing tricks on you, and you start thinking like, oh yeah, like it's all right if I don't make weight. You know, no one's gonna care. Or
you're like, I text your mom. You're like, Mom, you still love me, right? And at that time, it's like all that matters. You're like, as long as my mom still love me, fuck everybody else, which is crazy. But, anyways, what else were we gonna talk about? Because we kind of got off on a tangent there.
That was a good tangent.
But it's good. It's good. It's
really good.
Andrew, have you done any type of like weight cuts, or I mean, what are the formats that you've competed in? You have to just like weigh in right before you compete, right?
Yeah. So dude, I have it really, really easy. So I just compete at Jiu Jitsu World League just because it's close by, and it's pretty funny because they say it's like day of weigh-in. But that just means I can go as soon as they open and I go weigh in and then I go compete like that afternoon. And then on top of that, I walk around at about like 180 to like 185. And there's a class that's 181.
181.
Yeah. So
middleweight.
It's literally like made for me. So I've never had to cut any weight. Like I've had to, I don't know, drop like.
You can just wake up first thing in the morning, go weigh in, and then go have breakfast, relax, and then go back to the
exactly. So like I've had to drop like 6 pounds or so just because when you weigh in with the gi and then just like whatever happens, like I'll like, oh shit, I'm 183. I got to get down to like 178. But again, it's just all I do is just some of the same daily habits that we've been talking about on this episode. Like if I'm going to have ground beef, I'm not going to have the 85-15. I'm going to have the 97-3. I just make these small switches to where it doesn't even seem like I'm doing anything drastic at all. But again, this is just at like a casual competitor level. I'm not, grappling for money or anything like that. It's just to kind of test my skills and that sort of thing. But yeah, no, thankfully I've never had to make any drastic cuts. I've helped a couple of friends like with their cuts and they've really they went pretty deep into the deep water there. But for me, no, it's just mainly just maintaining the same habits that I have every day, but just making slight tweaks to, again, bring those calories down just a little bit and still fuel myself to that. So that way training still works out really well.
Yeah. At this point, I mean, I used to do MMA at 170, but I was walking around a lot lighter back then because I was younger and I didn't.
And that was before you met your new doctor.
I wasn't an adult. Yeah, it was before my new doctor. Yeah. No, but I mean,
that was before Mason met his new doctor.
I was 18 years old, so I was just like a skinny twerp, So I was walking around at like 195.
That used to have gauges in his ears.
Yeah, I still got them.
And
the gauges saved my life because I tried to enlist in the Marines when I was 18, and they wouldn't take me. They wouldn't take me because of the holes in my ears.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
So my whole life would have been different. Yeah. I did like the whole like workout and everything, and I passed all the tests. And then the recruiting officer told me that I had to stitch up my ears, and I just didn't want to do it. And then I didn't enlist.
Interesting. I wonder
But
what the
anyways,
reason behind that is.
It's just a rule. You can't have holes that are so big that light shines through
Yeah,
it.
but
That's
don't you
what they
think
said
you'd
is like the
want
rule.
like somebody like that on the team? Like somebody who's like not afraid of pain?
Yeah.
Hey, Lieutenant, what size gauges are you wearing, bro? Do you listen to Insane Clown Posse?
But anyways, at this point in my life, I don't see myself probably ever competing under like 205. I mean, I'm 220 now. It would have to be a ridiculous amount of money for me to cut to like a 185 or something like that. I was going to do 194 for ADCC, but that's only because and it's morning of weigh-ins too. So I guess I could do 185 if it was really worth it. And if it was like day before weigh-ins, but for the most part, I don't see myself really dropping below 205. What about you, Deron?
Why does it always have to come back to me, bro?
I mean, it's a podcast. That's usually how these things work. Usually, Andrew talks, and then I talk, and then it comes back to you. It's called a conversation.
Oh, shit.
I'll fight. I'll fight middleweight, bro.
You would cut back down to 185.
Yeah, I'm actually not that heavy right now. But it's because I haven't.
What are you walking around at? 220?
No, buddy. I swear, I was 205 the other morning, and this is not a lie.
Are you wearing?
And I was
the 8-pound shorts?
I'm not. But seriously, I'm small right now.
You were 205. You were 205.
I swear to God.
Wow.
And that was after training on Friday, I think. Yeah, I swear to God, I was.
Wow.
But I'm small right now. But I've already started to gain a little weight because I started training every day again. My like appetite just comes back, and I'm gaining muscle mass, and but yeah, I mean, I'm done with like people like I said, I've cut weight since I was 8 years old. Like I was 8 years old in a sauna with my coach, and my mom was outside the sauna, and we're both crying, like looking at each other. And I'm like, Mom, what are we doing? My mom's crying. She don't know what we're doing. We're in Oklahoma.
She's like, they're hurting my boy.
Yeah, she's like, my baby.
Cooking him alive.
No, my mom wasn't like, kick your ass. She was like, my baby. And I was struggling in there. So I'm done. I mean, I'm 35 now, bro. I'm like over it.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the match with Pat Downey?
I think it's 210 or 215. I think it's 215 or 210. Yeah, but that won't be a problem. But I mean, is this guy, is there performance enhancers involved here?
Now there's no testing. So I think if anyone's listening that can maybe a sponsor that we can get Deron looking a little more jacked and swole these days.
The only way I would ever want to do something like that is just for my body recovery. My body has hurt so bad the last couple weeks of training. It doesn't help that I'm in the altitude. But like, it's just like lingering, bro. Like I took Saturday and Sunday off. I took Saturday and Sunday off. And yesterday I still felt like shit at practice, bro. I just did some like MMA training yesterday morning, and my body hurts. My knee's all messed up. I got a really bad knee. But I remember my knee's been messed up since you've known me, Mason.
Yeah, I remember.
So, that's just longevity of.
You got that little trick knee.
I got the trick knee.
They call it trick knee.
But I got the trick knee on both legs. But that's a skill. That ain't an injury. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I mean, we've talked about it before. It's not like I'm like looking to compete that much longer. People are like, oh, you still got a few years, but it's like it's different because I've competed since I was 4 years old. Like I was wrestling at national tournaments when I was 7. my first national tournament, Tulsa Nationals. I was 7 years old, and I went there, and I went 0-2. So it's like double elimination, and I got pinned, and I got tech falled. You guys know what a tech fall is? It's like a spread.
Bad. Yeah.
Spread. Like, it's basically like match over. You're getting beat too bad. And so it's like, I've been doing this shit, and I don't care.
So that's what I'm saying is that at this point, how old are you?
35. I turn 36 this next year.
35.
35 and a half.
You hear about all of these former retired fighters. Cowboy Cerrone announced that he's on, working with some medical company, and he's taking TRT and peptides, and he feels amazing. So is it something that you can sit down and think, well, maybe I don't get back into fighting, but maybe I start getting into some grappling competitions, making a little extra money on the side. And the only way my body's going to hold up and I'm going to be able to do that is if I, partner up with some clinic and, get my blood work done and do it the healthy way. The problem is you've been in wrestling your whole life. And in wrestling,
you don't cheat.
So it's so heavily tested and it's cheating. Yeah.
You don't cheat.
So that's all you think about.
That's all I think about.
Anything that has to do with a peptide or anything like that.
If I have any morality left in my life, it's that. It's retiring before or retiring knowing I never cheated. Like, and it might sound stupid to other people. They're like, you're an idiot, bro. But like, to me, it means a lot. And it's stupid. Sometimes I think about it, I'm like, you're just being an idiot. You're being stubborn. Because I'm stubborn. But I don't know. I mean, maybe when I'm done, when I know that I'm done actually fighting, like if I don't punch anybody in the face anymore, maybe I'll grapple and I'll get on some. Because I really would like to like do something to like make my body feel better. I mean, I have.
In your head, are you still going to pursue fighting?
I'm gonna fight.
If so, what's your timeline?
I'm gonna fight this year before the middle of the year for sure.
And do you
I have
have
a couple
any
different options. I don't know. I might fight overseas. I might do the bare knuckle MMA, the game bred. We've talked to that matchmaker. I might fight overseas. I'm going to Germany in January to train with this dude named what's his name? Soldic, Roberto Soldic. He fights in one MMA or one FC, and I'm gonna go train with him for like 3 to 4 weeks. They're like flying me out because he needs wrestling grappling. Actually, Yuri hooked me up with that. So shout out my boy Yuri Samoes. Yuri hit me up one day and was like, "Hey, bro, I got this guy that needs training. I'm getting surgery," and I told him you're the man. And then like the next day, the dude hit me up on WhatsApp and. His manager, Ivan, I forget his name, Ivan. He was cool. He's a good dude. We've had a couple conversations, but I'm going to go out there and train, and who knows, maybe I get an opportunity or something, you know? What, bro? What? You have
I'm just thinking about Yuri.
Smirk on your face.
I'm just thinking about Yuri. When we talk about you, he says, "Oh, yeah, bro. What about Deron?
Deron. That's not my name, Yuri.
Deron is pretty good, bro.
Deron?
It's pretty close.
No,
yeah,
it's Deron.
It's Deron.
I don't call him.
I know, but it's
Yuri. I don't call him Yuri.
You call him Yuri. But his name is Yuri.
It's Yuri. Yeah. That's what I said.
So you kind of say it wrong too, because you say Yuri. You just said Yuri.
Samoes.
I think Deron sounds better than what I'm sure you get a lot, which is Darren, right?
Darren.
Shut up,
Darren.
Andrew.
I'm just saying.
No, I'm just playing.
What about peptides? Those are not.
Oh, I take peptides right now for my knee, but my knee's so messed up.
What are we talking?
Just the BPC.
What's the cycle?
Hey.
Oh, BPC.
Matter of fact, I need to inject myself here in a second, but
yeah,
it's not working. My knee's messed up. I think I have a torn ACL.
BPC is now banned, though.
Hey, wait. Exit that out.
Right.
Edit that out.
Let me ask you again real quick. Hold on.
All right.
Let me time.
Edit that out.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. Ready?
Hold on. I'll get.
So, are you still taking peptides?
What kind of fucked up question is that, bro? Why did you just interrogate me like I was on trial for something? I have been taking a little bit of peptides and BPC 157. But that's just like a bunch of protein. It's not like I'm like, and I want to come home and beat my wife. You know what I'm saying?
No, I've taken BPC before. I swear, in one of my training camps, I had maybe like just a small, like a sprain or like a grade 1 tear on one of the ligaments of my knee.
Just so people know,
And
a sprain is a light tear. Go ahead.
yeah, like a grade 1 tear.
Yeah. Go ahead.
That's what I said.
No, you
What did I say
didn't.
wrong?
Just go ahead.
What did I
Sprain and
say
tear are the
wrong?
same thing. It's fine. Just go.
No, but like a sprain is when it stretches, but it doesn't tear.
No, a sprain is when it tears a little bit. Go ahead.
So if I say a sprain or a small tear, it's the same thing.
Two different things.
That's what
it's
you're
the
saying.
same thing. Yes. A sprain and a small tear are the same thing.
So
yeah,
what
Andrew,
I remember.
I'm
no,
literally
I remember
like a physical therapist. Go.
No, I am too, but I remember distinctly a doctor explaining to me that a grade 1 tear is considered when the ligament stretches but it doesn't tear, or it could stretch and have a very small tear.
Okay. Go ahead, buddy. We're
That's
listening.
what I was told.
We're listening
But
to you.
yeah, the doctor could have been wrong. You could have been right.
I could have been right. The doctor also
Anyways.
probably wanted to put you on anti-inflammatories and pain pills as opposed to doing natural things to take care of your body. Go ahead, Mason.
I'm gonna.
Hey, do I sound like a DJ right now?
like NPR DJ.
Yeah.
Forgot what I was saying, but anyways,
I
had.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I had. I mean, when it like I'm at the point too where I've had so many problems with my knees, probably just like Deron, that when it happens, your knee will pop, it'll turn the wrong way, and then the next day when you wake up, like at this point, I can tell what grade tear it is when I wake up the next day, depending on how hard it is to make it to the bathroom in the morning.
Yeah, so true.
And so, anyways, it was at the point where it was like a grade 1, like small, like I could walk the next day, but I could definitely feel it. I was limping the next day, but I already was preemptively taking BPC and TB500. I took it throughout my whole camp just in case I got injured because one of my friends sent me some. And then that day I took off. This is the next day after it popped. I took off. I just lifted. And then the next day I was completely fine.
Wow.
Damn.
So I believe in those peptides wholeheartedly because from my experience, how that pop felt, it would have been something that would have been bothering me for probably like 2 to 4 weeks. Like not serious, but something that I would have had to deal with for 2 to 4 weeks. And it was, I mean, within 2 days, it was like 90%.
Damn, that's sick. Yeah, unfortunately, they actually just recently banned BPC 157, and they're trying to get it back to where people can, prescribe it and that sort of thing. There's another one. I might have.
No, they banned it for they banned it just for average people.
Yeah, like you can't get it right now.
Really?
Yeah. So
you can't get a prescription for it.
If you guys need it, I know a couple guys who got it.
So I was going to say.
Yeah, I got a sponsor too.
Yeah, if you have a source, that source just became gold. There's another one. I believe NAD Plus has all kinds of different like benefits.
The drip, right?
No.
You can take injections.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But like I'm talking about like from like if you got vaccinated recently and you're having some injuries from that, like it can help with that. Allegedly, not for sure. You didn't hear that from a doctor, so that was completely false and a lie with what I just said. But then also for recovery too. Like I talked to people and they're like, dude, I just felt like a brand new person all over again. And so I'm like, shit, dude, I got to check that out. Because like I my last comp was like 6 months ago and I popped my knee and I'm still like, it's frustrating because I'll feel good and then I'll like get up out of my like computer chair and I'm like, fuck, dude, like I twisted wrong or I did something. And it's like, it swells up all over again. I don't know what to do with it. I've just been doing some like knees over toes stuff. It's extremely frustrating for me. I can't imagine at your guys' level.
So where do you get your NAD Plus from? Do you get it from Jake?
No, I would like to though. I need to.
Yeah.
You, the feds?
Yeah. So for anyone listening, no. Just because, like, just for the listeners,
Jeez,
if you guys
he had a voice recorder behind his. You get those from?
No, just for the listeners, if they're interested in where they can get it from, we have one of our friends, Jake Benson, his company Better Through Biology. They have NAD Plus, along with like glutathione and L-carnitine and a whole bunch of other really, really cool supplements. So go check it out. Use discount code Mason10.
I like glutathione.
Mason10. Discount code Mason.
Yeah, and if
Dude,
there's a
hook
way,
me up, Mason. I want some NAD because I heard it's really good for like your receptors and stuff too.
it's good all around. Yeah, and then that glutathione.
I just heard the
amazing.
NAD drip was really good.
I love the glutathione. I've never actually
cleans your liver, right? Or cleanses your liver.
And it protects you against concussions and head trauma.
That's great.
There's studies that have shown that if you're taking it like 3 times a week, it will like protect your brain from head trauma.
Damn.
Wow.
Every MMA fighter should be taking glutathione
Agreed.
3 times a week.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, like when I was in camp, I was taking glutathione and it basically felt.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah. So like I was training like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, off Thursday, and then back on Friday, and then sometimes Saturday. But like the way it feels to train Monday to Wednesday felt the same way from Monday to Tuesday. So like I felt like I got an extra night of sleep essentially in between training. That stuff's incredible. Like I have, yeah, dude, it is.
It's incredible. Bro.
Yeah, and if there's a way, if
I don't know about the NAD plus, but I love glutathione.
Yeah,
I need some NAD plus. Somebody, please.
Yeah,
I need something, bro.
Yeah,
I'll talk to Jake. He'll probably send you some, bro.
Please,
Jake's super nice.
Jake, we're friends, Jake.
Yeah, and if anybody does go to Better Through Biology, if there's a way, let them know that you heard about it through the DMs podcast, because we need that extra publicity over here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I think that's what we got for the day. Wrap up. I gotta wrap up. I gotta get going. But that another good one, guys.
1 foot in, just like always.
You're outrageous. You can edit that out too if you want, Andrew. But no, sorry. I actually have a really cool guest coming on the next episode.
Let's go.
Maybe we'll see if you guys will give a hint. I know he just fought within the last
I got
month.
A good hint.
He is a flyweight, and he absolutely positively does not fuck with Israel Adesanya. Who do you guys think that we have coming on? It's my boy. Excited to have him on.
Don't say.
I won't. I'm not going to, bro.
Don't say, bro.
I don't give away surprises. All right. I don't tell secrets like you. All right. Mason, you got anything to close this out? Because
that's it. We're about to slide. Let's just slide out of the DMs now.
All right. Andrew?
You ready?
Oh, all good, dude.
All right. Slide out, Andrew. Slide out.
This way.
3. Yeah. Nice.
All right. Cut.